All right. This ain't just a show. This is a platform. Veteran built, battle tested. Welcome to the Misfit Nation. Yeah! Mic in a room, built from boots on the ground, now we breaking the rules. 2 vets, 1 leader, painting the sound, turn scars into sermons, let them echo around. Authors with truth, musicians with fire, actors backstage chasing something higher. Entrepreneurs bleeding just to get ahead. If you fought for your dream, yeah, you are what you said. If they told you no, if you still came back, if you fell to your knees but you stayed on track, this is your voice, this is your flame. Say it loud, remember the name. No salvation, just elevation. We rise again. From the fight to the end. We are the Misfit Nation. No damn labels, no damn cages. If you're still breathing, you belong. Turn it up. This is our song. Yeah. This is our song. Yeah. Veterans standing with ghosts in the chest. First responders running in while the world second guess. Gold star names carved deep in the soul. Your story ain't over, we carry the whole. Coaches teaching mindset, breaking the chains, turning barely alive into owning the pain. Truth over polish, scars on display. If it's real, let it bleed. That's the misfit play. If it's heavy right now, if the dark feels cold. If it's heavy right now, if the dark feels cold. If it's heavy right now, if the dark feels cold. Stop right now, we're the more than you know. 988, don't walk alone. Veterans press 1, bring it home. Don't trade forever for tonight. You're still needed in this fight. We're the Misfit Nation, built from scars and dedication. We rise again. From the fight to the end. We are the Misfit Nation. Every voice is vindication. From the silence to the scream, we're strong. Welcome home, you belong. You belong. You belong. Oh wait, you. Oh wait, you belong.
Woo! All right. Welcome back to the Misfit Nation. I know you're surprised. It's Saturday. It's midday on Saturday. And here I am. My beautiful face is on your screen again. But thanks for hanging out with us. You could be doing so many other things. The World Cup is on. WNBA is on. I'm sure there's some kind of race from NASCAR, and another sport they call golf is on as well. But welcome back, where we bring you those conversations with people who challenge assumptions, break through barriers, and aren't afraid to tell the truth. Today's guest is someone who has built a powerful platform around the conversations most people avoid. Allison Burton is a speaker, writer, military spouse advocate, and unapologetic truth teller who tackles topics like invisible labor, burnout, identity loss, resilience culture, and the emotional weight of constantly being expected to hold everything together. Through her writing and advocacy, she's given voice to experiences that millions of people live every day but often struggle to explain. Her message is simple yet powerful. Maybe we don't need to be stronger. Maybe we need things to be different. She challenges the narratives that celebrate resilience while ignoring the systems and expectations creating the burden in the first place. Today, we're diving into the things we're not supposed to say out loud. And I have a feeling this conversation is going to resonate with anyone who's ever felt overwhelmed, unseen, or exhausted from carrying more than anyone realizes. Misfit Nation, let's welcome Allison Burton to the show. Welcome, Allison.
Thank you. Thank you for the intro. That was nice.
And see cheering, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I need to cheer. My kids are upstairs. I could get them down here to cheer for me, but
They might be sweating too right now. So
yes, there's a fan behind my computer that is going at full speed.
welcome to Germany, everybody.
Yes, it's a lovely heat wave right now, and it's horrible.
Allison, again, thank you for finding the time. We had to do some math and figure out time zones to get you on here. It took us about a month after your move to get you in there, but I'm glad we get this opportunity to do this today.
Yes, thank you. I'm excited. I'm excited to be here.
Tell us something, some more about you from as far back as you want to go to how we wound up through all these moves and now in Germany.
Oh goodness. I'll just start from my husband I met in college. So we've been together 20 years. I was set on the fact that I was never going to marry anyone in the military, and God laughed at me as he usually does. So we are going strong at 20 years, which is awesome. My husband is an air defense officer. So that means we get to move a lot. And we've been privileged. This is our second time to be in Ansbach. The first time we were here, it was the pandemic. So that was a train wreck and it was awful. But thankfully we don't have, knock on wood, all the things that shouldn't happen again. So we've called this our Germany 2.0. So we have been here literally 30 days. So we're in a temporary home and temporary furniture and just waiting on those boats to come to us and bring us our things. I really wish I had my bed right now. That would be, if I could have nothing else, just bring me my bed, because temporary beds are awful.
They're not a lot of fun.
No.
And you don't know who else had them before you.
I mean, I don't want to think about that. That's not.
You're welcome.
I don't want to think about that now. It's stuck, but that's okay. I'm going to try to forget.
So tell us a little bit about how you decided to start what you're doing now, being a speaker, a writer, an advocate, and basically the truth teller that you are now.
Well, from as far back as I can remember, I've been the person in a room that's not afraid to say what everybody else is thinking. So my dad, when I was growing up, would tell me that I could talk to a fence post, and he's not wrong, and still probably not wrong. I don't really meet many strangers, but in the military lifestyle and the culture that surrounds us, we have to make our own community. We have to create our own villages. And I found myself becoming a connector of sorts. I'm always wanting to help somebody, even if, it doesn't matter rank, it doesn't matter where they come from. I do not care. If I know of a resource that somebody else doesn't know about, I'm going to help them. I'm going to inform them. So my advocacy journey truthfully started just a few years ago. I was working for a nonprofit called CASA. It's court-appointed special advocates. They help children that are abused, neglected, going through the foster care system. We were in Kansas at the time, and it really solidified in me my core need to help people and speak up for people that could not speak up for themselves, or maybe they felt they couldn't. So it just kind of transferred over into being a military spouse advocate and family advocate, because nobody's going to come rescue us, and nobody wants to talk about what we do or what we suffer through and all the things. And I'm okay with being the loud squeaky wheel, because the squeaky wheel gets the grease. So I'm doing my best to create a safe space for spouses to know that what they're feeling is normal, and to know that they can share their experiences openly without being reprimanded or being labeled as something like crazy or dramatic. So that's really how it got started. It kind of spiraled from, I started writing a book about just over a year ago about military spouse life. And it is the real version. It's not the homecoming porn and the excitement and the, oh my God, we're going to make signs for daddy at the airport. Like those are great moments, but it's not everything. So my book covers the nitty gritty and the tears in the shower and, all Murphy coming to visit you because your husband is deployed, and of course everything falls apart. So that's kind of how we got here.
I know my wife got to deal with Murphy many times. Like as soon as I would leave, or as soon as the plane would take off, something bad would happen.
Always.
Dropped me off one time to go somewhere, and her and my daughter were driving back from Kansas City back to Fort Riley, and a tornado came through. So they got stuck underneath an overpass, and vicious storm, and that's what they remember of that. Not me leaving, nothing like that, but they remember that, and it's somehow I made Mother Nature do that. So that was
of course you did.
And I called that storm in. I understand. I mean, but I took that. Yes, thank you. I did that. But over the 30 years that we've been married, now 31 now, 32 now. Sorry, before I get in trouble. 32 years. We've been married. I was gone a lot while I was in service because a lot of that time Watt started, and my focus was totally Army, and she was the rock at home with our daughter. And it wasn't until after I got out and I read an article that my daughter wrote about the Army brat life that it crushed my soul. And it put those knives in, realized what I did in by separating Army from them and really just separating from them. I left them out of so much and wasn't there for them for many, many years. And now we're kind of healed after my daughter published her book. I was the bookstore guy and the publicist, and we got closer together, and now we hang out all the time. But there was a large gap where I wasn't there. So I understand what you're feeling after reading that Army brat life.
Yeah, that's amazing. I kudos to her. I don't know how old she is now, but my kids are 11 and 14, and this move has definitely been one of the hardest. You know, they are old enough to have friends. They are old enough to understand a lot of things that we don't want them to understand. And we were in Kansas for 4 years before we came here. So that's the longest they've ever lived anywhere. And it's gut wrenching. You know, I talk about in my book having to be Switzerland because I have my husband who I love dearly and his mission that I may like or may hate at the moment, depending on the day. And then I have my children and I need to balance their emotions and help them figure out how to deal with things. We're stuck quite literally in the middle, and it's not easy. You know, it's not easy at all. And I feel like we ask too much of our kids, as much as our families within this lifestyle. But I'm glad that you guys have reconnected. That's wonderful. I may have to look up her article.
I'll send it to you so you can.
That would be great.
You can see the knives going into me.
I mean, I get it. I get it. You know, obviously I was not in your quite literal boots, but I can understand.
It was rough, but we've come a lot further forward than we were back then.
Good.
It's great to see that. Good. I mean, now for you, your husband's going to be a BC battalion commander, and now you're the face of the spouse side of the family of that battalion. So you actually, it's like having another job. Besides raising the kids, you have to be there for everyone else in the battalion when everything goes good and when anything goes bad. You have to be that rock for everybody, not just your husband. How's that mold fitting you now?
Honestly, it's difficult, but we were hopeful that he would get this position. Obviously, it's a very prestigious position for him. You know, he worked very hard to get where he is. I am very proud of my husband, and I can also be very proud of him and absolutely hate what's happening at this very moment and I'll give a little backstory. We arrived in Ansbach on a Sunday morning, and 72 hours later, we got information that he would be deploying. So he received the guide on, and then he was on an airplane. So that's fun. But in regards to being someone that is an advisor, a senior advisor over the spouse, the SFRG leaders and all the things, so far it's been amazing. The women, I'm not going to say men right now only because I haven't met them, but the women that I have met thus far have been absolutely tremendous, so kind and ready to do all the things that we need to do to keep our families safe and connected, if you will. But it is a lot of pressure because I'm like, oh, can I go to the store in my sweatpants? Because who am I going to see? Like, mind you, I usually don't care, but I'm like, oh God.
I have to brush my hair today.
Right? Just throw on a hat and be done. Because
on for the bakery. Yeah. and that's even hard coming in. You're the outsider now coming in. He's taking command, and then they're leaving. And now you're the outside face, and hopefully there's a strong core of spouses that are there that have been there maybe a year or so already that have their foot on the ground and know where everything is and all the connections that can help you navigate things when things go wrong for everybody.
Yeah, it's a big blessing that we've been here before. So I was not flying blind, if you will. The biggest problem that I had to fix was when we got this notice, I had very few days to obtain my German driver's license and obtain a rental car and we had to get a power of attorney because, you know, life. But yeah, it was a whirlwind. It was absolutely chaos. And I think one of the worst things that we were talking about our kids before, there's no end state right now. You know, we have no idea. And I'm like, I'm over here planning trips. So let's hope you get back in time because I'm going to go with or without you.
Take a cardboard cutout of them, put them in all.
Yeah. Get one of those big fat heads. That'd be amazing.
Here, you were there. You don't remember? I did a live with you that night and smiled. You were happy that day. You weren't tired or anything.
Yeah, you weren't grumpy at all for being hot because that is my husband. He gets grumpy when he's hot.
So he'd be loving it right now where you are.
Mm-hmm.
Where he is too. So.
Mm.
So you've navigated a lot, obviously, going up the ranks to lieutenant colonel, and you've seen company command, you've seen staff, you've seen schools, and now you said 4 years in Kansas and then the uproot. That is a long period any time for an officer in the Army anywhere for 4 years. For me, it was like almost every 2 years until I got to Kansas, and that was almost 5 or 6. 5 for me, 7 for my wife and daughter. So that was our long. It's like I guess it's a black hole in Kansas. It just holds you and it doesn't let you go. I mean, they have a lot of friends in Kansas. I was always surprised I was still there. Why am I still here? Why is there not orders in my inbox? Why don't I have something saying you're out of here, dude? But it never came. I said, they're doing something illegal. Something. Then I left and just started moving again every 2 years. So I said, oh, they got me again. The machine's on. Do you feel that's going to happen to you?
Oh gosh, I have no idea. I know that this position is only a 2-year deal. And I know that within this garrison, there's no other job for my husband. There's not even a lateral move. So we will either be moved somewhere within Europe or we will be moved back to the state. We have no idea. It's hurry up and get there and then wait, every single day. That's literally it's my career. I feel like, I need to put it on a t-shirt because you're like so excited to get somewhere and you're like, okay, where are we going out? We've literally been here 30 days. Like, can we just take a damn breath a second? And I'm not worried about where we're going in 2 years yet. Talk to me in 9 months. I might care then.
Once they give me that almost thing where we're going, I'll be all right.
Yes.
But then you'll still be looking at the stickers on the boxes that you haven't unpacked from this move or the move before it that you've never touched. Because we just did a clean out here in the last week or so, and we found stickers from I think our second move from Korea back to Fort Campbell, then Campbell to Kansas. So those stickers there were still on boxes.
Mm-hmm.
That's from the 90s. Oh. Boxes we didn't touch.
Whatever material that they use for those stickers needs to be studied because you have equipment falling apart in 30 days, but those stickers last forever. And I will be doing the cliche thing of getting a Christmas ornament. And when we ETS, I will be putting stickers all over a Christmas ornament because why not? Like, I've stared at these things for my entire adult life. So we're going to commemorate this.
And I've seen the evolution of them too. They went from like big stickers, like about this big, to different colors now. So
yes.
they made it prettier for you. So now you can go by color categorization.
It's awesome when you see 3 or 4 of different colors on the same thing. You're like, oh, I clearly don't give a shit what's in that box.
Someone does. Now your inventories, it must really. Oh, this box is great, good. It's lasted 10 years. And that's something I'm sure when you get around a table of spouses, you guys just laugh and just think about the stickers and how many times you've worried about that one box that you trip over in the attic or trip over in the closet and say, why do I still have it? And then like when your kids are probably 18, you're going to open up that box and say, this is why I kept it.
Yeah, there's always some boxes that aren't touched. I will say we did a really good job when we were in Leavenworth because we knew we would be there for a longer period of time. And I think we unpacked 99% of our boxes. And the only reason why there's not 100% is I always keep Christmas decorations separated in different boxes. So some of those don't get unpacked because I know exactly what's in them. But yes, it's always something. And I'm sure everyone has a spouse that doesn't want to get rid of the cords that you have no idea what the hell they go to anymore. And like, why do we need 6 of them that match when we don't know what they go to? So I am definitely a purge before you move and a purge after you move.
Yes.
Always.
I like to throw stuff out as soon as I get it. So, but I had like all my Army stuff that would take up a lot of space in the house or garage or wherever. And that would always be the argument. Oh, you have all your Army stuff here. And when I got rid of all that, when I retired, Oh, it's all your junk. It's not my stuff. I have nothing. I have posters. That's it. And now I have my studio, and this is one corner of the house where I'm allowed to live. Other than that, it's nothing. So I can see it coming when you get to purge everything.
Yeah, I try not to touch his stuff, but when you're not here to defend yourself, you never know what's going to happen. I mean, I tend to think I know what he loves, so I won't touch it.
Let's dig into that book a little bit. Silent Ranks, Loud Burdens. Talk about that and how the process went for you. How was your writing process and where it is now?
Okay, so this is going to be absolutely comical in the beginning because I can't do anything any other way than this. A very stereotypical military spouse. So my husband was deployed at the time a year ago, which if you do the math, you can figure it out how this deployment was not on our bingo card. But it was the middle of May. My husband was gone. I had a full-time job. I had 2 children in competitive sports. And I finally got to the point and I was like, I'm just going to start writing. You know, that Kermit the Frog meme where he's like typing really fast, really angry. Like that was me in the very beginning. Just like, going at it. It was damn the man. It was, I hate this, screw the army, blah, blah, blah. Like those were all the thoughts from over a decade of anger and resentment and grief and all frustration. All the things were coming out on the page. So I kept writing. And of course, some of it made sense and some of it didn't, which is evidently part of the process, as I know now. I found an editor, and she is a military spouse also. Her husband has since retired, but she is phenomenal. And she helped me turn it from an angry blog rant to an actual manuscript because she was like, I understand your point of view and your frustration, but I'm going to need you to dial it back and make it make sense. So she and I have been working together. Oh my gosh. I started, I think September will be a year if we make it that long. And the reason I say that is I'm officially in the final editing stages, which is amazing. But I got to the point, I'd been thinking about this book for over a decade. And why not? Why not? I turned 40 and I really don't care about most things anymore because that's just what happens. So yeah, it's a real account of military spouse life. It's the stuff that nobody wants to talk about because they're afraid they're going to be judged or they're going to be labeled dramatic, or maybe they don't want to share with their spouse because my generation of spouses, when we became military spouses, it was very obvious and very evident that when you talk to your soldier, should they be downrange, you do not share the hardships of your day. It's a happy conversation. It's how are you? And I'm so glad to hear from you. And things are wonderful, even if your house is literally on fire. Like you're taught not to share those things. You're taught to be quiet and compliant and be happy all the time. And that's very toxic, especially over time. So as someone who had to deal with how to get out of that pattern, I'm hopefully helping other spouses be like, you can say these things because if you're married to a man, they are very good at compartmentalizing everything. I can call my husband or when he calls right now and just verbal vomit all the things. And then he forgets it 25 minutes later. Like he's got a battalion to worry about. He's not worried about whether or not I'm angry at the dog, so it is, I'm trying very hard to put words to feelings that maybe spouses did not know. It took me way too long to understand the concept of resentment and what that was. It ate at my marriage for several years until I figured out what it was and how to work through it and be honest about it. So this book is hopefully going to allow military spouses to feel seen and validated. And also my biggest goal, military spouses deserve a seat at the table where decisions are being made that affect us.
I think I gave her husband a lot of credit with that 25 minutes of forgetting.
I mean, fair.
He might from that side of the fence.
But yeah, depending on if his phone pings or something happens. But
something's
like
in front of him. Oh, look, a mosquito! Great. Yeah, my memory was pretty quick. Oh, yeah, she's angry about something. All right, let me go back and do something else. Bye. All right.
Yeah.
I think that's like you said. The compartmentalization is pretty good for most military members because we have to in what we do. sometimes we forget that we're compartmentalizing too much. And that's the lesson I learned along the way. You have to
Yeah.
let some stuff out, and like you're doing, say the hard stuff and push things out there so everyone knows what you're feeling, that the dog is pissing you off, or that the kids have driven you over an edge for the last 3 days, and this call is what you need to let everything out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes that's all it takes.
100%. It could be the baby waking up for the 95th time in 2 days, whatever those things are. I'm writing about all of those issues. Obviously I can't cover everything because that would be an encyclopedia set. For those that are old enough to know what that is, because I feel like the younger generation may not know what that is. But yeah, I tried hard to hit the biggest points, the biggest pain points. But I'm not a literary genius of any sort. I'm more of a reflective writer. I wrote it in a very conversational tone so that it feels like we're just sitting across the table from each other having a conversation. I did work hard to put it in terms that if you are not a military spouse, you could understand. Or if you're a brand new military spouse, you could still understand. So there's a lot of decoding, if you will, a lot of translations from acronyms to English, because I do literally have a page of nothing but acronyms, of like the top acronyms that people might need to know, because some people choose not to learn them, and that's totally fine. But sometimes you got to know, you got to figure it out.
And there are a lot of acronyms that go with military. Whatever branch you're in, there's different acronyms for everything, and sometimes they're just made up. You know what they are. I still don't know what some of them were. I know that. Good. Walk away.
Sure.
Sounds awesome. Did you invite any other spouses in to get their perspective along the way to help you with writing?
Yes, I talk to many spouses. I talk to experts in their fields. Now, I would say 99% of people are not quoted because they asked to not be quoted, and I'm totally fine with that. But I do talk about what they do for a living and how they are a credible source. There's a lot of things that I don't know, and I'm totally fine with admitting that. For instance, I met a lady who runs the foreign-born military spouse community. That's a nonprofit that she runs. And her name is Lydia, and I had zero idea the challenges that a foreign-born spouse would encounter. And she educated me, and I'm so grateful that she did, because I'm an American-born white lady. Like, I'm not going to understand what someone from a different country is going to experience when it comes to, all the passports and the visas and all the things. But I've talked to therapists, I've talked to veterans, I've talked to military spouses. I've done my homework on what yes, my opinion is still in the book, but I also have data and statistics to back it up, so that should someone who's a critic be like, you can Google it. You can absolutely Google it. Everything is there. The hardest chapter was probably the finance chapter, I'm not gonna lie, because proving to the general public that military families don't make enough money and over half of them are struggling paycheck to paycheck. It's not easy, because you want to rant and rave and, how dare you? But the proof is there. The statistics are there. People just don't pay attention, or they don't care.
Many people believe, for whatever reason, that if you're in the military, you are wealthy, no matter what rank you are. You're wealthy because you're in the military. And I went through that for most of my career, trying to educate people along the way that no, we're not. And bologna is great. And that's what we eat every night. We eat bologna because that's what we could afford at the time.
Yeah.
And putting a kid on top of that, you don't make more money just because you have a kid. You
right.
Make the same amount, and you drive forward, and now you have half a bologna sandwich instead of a full bologna sandwich. You keep moving, and you just do what you have to do to make the ends meet and work it out the legal ways.
100%. It's very difficult to understand when you're on the inside, the civilian misinterpretation. And I tried very hard to bridge that gap. I relayed the message of, it would be a private in the Army. So E1E2, and an 18-year-old working at McDonald's. Mind you, the responsibilities are absolutely not the same, so we cannot act like they are. No. And the vast difference of salary is infuriating. Knowing what these gentlemen or women who are signed up to defend our country are making barely above the poverty line. And it's like, what are we, you can't make it make sense. And it blows my mind and it infuriates me every time I read it. And every time I have to talk about it to people, I try really hard to give a little bit of grace for people who are asking questions.
Yes.
But it's the people who tend to, you get free healthcare. What are you complaining about?
You get free housing. You get free
Mm-hmm.
health.
Mm-hmm.
Not the best housing. It's not the best, definitely not the best healthcare.
Absolutely not. We're not asking for luxury. Like, I'm not asking to live in the Ritz-Carlton. Like, no molds, no jet fuel in my water.
What?
Can I have
Look at you.
right? Like, how dare I expect cleanliness?
Get out of here.
So yeah, it's very hard to give people grace again and again whenever they assume things without asking. And that's very much a thing that a sticking point for me is I need them to ask what spouses are dealing with and then listen to understand.
That's the thing right there. They can ask the question, but listen to the answer. Don't just already have your second question up and ready to go. And tell me you're not listening to me by asking that question.
Yep.
So there's sometimes I've been on other podcasts and I can tell that the host is just reading off a checklist. So I just say weird things and see what they say next, and they just still say the checklist. I'm just here. Thank you. Guy is purple today. Awesome.
Oh goodness.
You live and learn, I guess.
Yeah, that's right. Thankfully, I've been on several so far, and thankfully they've all been really good. Everybody has done homework or just, I enjoy the fact of just being able to have an honest conversation. You know, that is what I stand on, because how are we going to learn about each other's experiences if we can't have an honest conversation? I don't need to have a politically correct conversation sometimes. Like, I just need to vent and tell you about all the BS that's going on sometimes. And that's okay. But yeah, I cannot imagine sitting there and being like, yeah, I stuck a French fry up my nose, or whatever. Like, then no reaction.
Wonderful. That's wonderful. That sounds amazing. All right. This guy's not listening at all. This is awesome. I'll just go to my next subject. Let's talk a little bit about your speaking too. I mean, you have speaker on there. I know now it's probably a little harder where you are now until you get settled a little bit and maybe have your own furniture and maybe an air conditioner. But what were you doing as a speaker? Were you going local in Kansas or all around the country?
Well, I'm new in the speaking world.
Okay.
I am trying to pair my book and my speaking journey together. So when my book is in my hand, which hopefully, fingers crossed, will be by the end of 2026, maybe January 2027, depending on publishing and how long that takes. But I enjoy standing in front of a room and being like, listen, Linda, you'll understand if you read anything that I write. I use Linda a lot. She's similar to a Karen, okay? But listen, Linda sounds better than listen, Karen. But I speak to women specifically. Whether or not they're a military spouse is kind of irrelevant. I mean, I do speak to military spouses specifically in that little niche of community, but also women about identity erosion and burning themselves out and dealing with the invisible labor that we deal with as parents and or as females at home, in the workforce, all the things. So yes, I am trying to get myself globally, if you will. Applying for European gigs is a lot easier right now because it doesn't cost me very much money to get there, which is lovely. So it's a work in progress for sure. But I've worked with some spouses clubs. I've worked with some organizations that are led by women and for women specifically. So that is my main focus, is allowing women to feel validated and understand that what they deal with is difficult, and like maybe some ways to deal with it and or work through it.
Definitely. And speaking on your topic would probably help a lot more than just the book out there. Because a lot of people don't read anymore. It goes back to the encyclopedia thing you said earlier, where now all they have to do, they go to Mr. Google and that tells them anything, and whatever Google tells them is the truth no matter what, even if it's the 100% false, but it's the truth because it's on Google. Mm-hmm. It has to be real because it's the first thing that pops. So everyone knows this.
Yeah,
that's it. explain a little bit about invisible labor, because I've been trying to figure it out the whole time we're talking, and the whole time I read your bio. I was like, what the heck is invisible labor? All right, since you brought it up, go ahead.
Okay. So you said you and your wife have been married over 30 years. So
Yes.
if she was in the room, I figure she would be nodding her head with this. So you can regurgitate this back to her and let me know what she says. But in regards to a military spouse, so I'll just speak on that topic. So right now, my husband is deployed. So I have to care for both of our children, keep them alive and keep them fed. So therefore, I'm planning meals. I had to keep both of our pets alive. I have to walk the dog. I have to make sure we have food in the house. So I had to go get groceries. Then we have doctor's appointments. We have sports camps. I have meetings. I have emails. I have a book to finish. So you see where all this is going? So it's all right here and or right here because I can't remember everything. So we are dealing with, do we need paper towels? Do we need toilet paper? Do we need to do the laundry? Do we need to feed our kid? Do we, all the things. So the invisible labor is everything that we have to remember to do and or do in the house. When is the last time I washed my sheets? Have I washed towels this week? All of those thoughts are constantly going. It's 4,500 tabs open and they're all spinning, it's awful because it's exhausting. And the worst part is it gets especially worse when our spouse is deployed because we are the default parent. We're the only parent. My emergency contact, I don't even know what country he's in right now.
Oh, wow.
That's fun. Yeah. So the people that I met like 7 days ago that live across the street from me are now my emergency contact because that's what we have to do. So anything that is not like, mind you, mowing the yard is very physical, but to remember to mow the lawn, to remember to get the oil changed in the car, to actually put gas in the car. If any other spouse is like me and irritates the absolute shit out of our spouses because we let it get to like 10 miles to empty and they get so furious. I'm that person. Yep. Sorry, not sorry. But those are all the things that you can't see them, but they're up here, and we have to continuously run through that Rolodex and know, do I need to do this? Has this been done? What about this? So that's a lot, and it's very difficult to sustain that for a long period of time. Here I am at 20 plus years, still doing it. Now I have coping mechanisms now to where I can be like, you know what? I don't care what you eat for dinner. You're going to fix it yourself because my children are now old enough for that. I'm like, if you don't feel like eating, I don't want to hear about it until, the morning. So you feed yourself and I'm going to sit over here with a glass of wine. So, yes. Like, don't burn the house down. That's all I'm asking. Like, it's real easy.
Before gas prices went through the roof, I would drive my Jeep until it was down to about 7 miles to go in. Because it gives my daughter anxiety, so I take a picture of the dashboard just to send it to her. Say, hey, good morning. Stop.
Yeah, it makes my husband so angry. Oh, he gets so mad at me, and I'm like, it's fine. The gas station is 100 yards away. I will be fine.
It tells me when I have X amount of miles. I'm good. It doesn't lie.
Never.
What could go wrong? We got questions from the audience in here. So
okay.
Go to the first one. This is from Destiny Cinnamon. Great. At what point does resilience stop being healthy and start becoming harmful?
Destiny, I don't know if you already follow me on social media or not, but I feel like this is the universe telling me that you need to, because if you don't, because if there, I'm going to be non-politically correct for like 30 seconds. If there wasn't an R word already, resilience would be the one for me because I hate that word. There are so many words to describe military spouses: powerful, warriors, strong, courageous, all these things. Resilience is something that I twitch. I feel like my eye twitches whenever somebody uses that word, because to me, that is when military leadership uses that word, that means they're not going to fix the problem. They're expecting us, military families, to absorb that problem, and it's 100% toxic. Now, it can be a good thing sometimes. We're dealing with being resilient right now. We had a deployment thrown at us at a very rapid speed, and it was like, suck it up, buttercup. We have to figure it out. Like, that's being resilient 100%. However, it gets to a point, and for me, I feel like everybody might be different on their breaking point of don't call me resilient. And I have a social media post that went a little bit viral, and it said, "Don't call me resilient. Ask me why I have to be." Because people assume that, oh, you're just so strong. You've got it all figured out. You've done this before. Everything that you're saying is invalidating. It's so invalidating. This is hard, whether it's your first time or your 30th time. So that, I feel like it turns toxic. The more people that use that word, it's toxic. If you want to call yourself resilient, I love that, because to me, that word has a negative connotation. It may not for everyone else, but it's because it's overused. It's 100% overused. And it's just a glorified way of saying, sorry.
And while you were talking, my brother popped in about the gas thing. He said he likes to play the red light game. So
No. What's the red light game? I don't ever heard of
I don't know.
this.
He'll probably explain to it later. He's at work probably trying to type and change oil at the same time. So it's amazing. And someone's oil is probably spilling everywhere. It's good. But he'll chime in again.
Oh,
Or
no
he'll
worries.
say something to me later. I'll let you know. And another question. This is from Give Me 10. Why do so many people feel guilty admitting they're overwhelmed, even when they're clearly carrying too much? Great question.
100%. I feel like it's because we've been conditioned to be quiet, and that could be a military spouse, that could be any spouse, that could be quite literally anyone. It's not accepted worldwide to be like, I can't do this. I need help, because people feel like asking for help is weakness, when it's actually the opposite. When my husband was in Kuwait for 6 months, I did know where he was for that deployment. I decided to outsource some things. So I had somebody come in and clean my house once a month because I had a full-time job and I was exhausted. So if you have to do that, if you have to order your groceries on delivery, do it. Like, nobody's going to look down upon you because you chose to keep that time for yourself, and just sit down. Like, it's very difficult for people to admit that they can't handle it all, but not everything is a glass ball. That was the thing that one of my therapists taught me, is you can drop the rubber balls. If you didn't vacuum today, who cares? Like, if you're eating in front of the TV instead of at a table, your family's fed. Like, that's okay. So yeah, it's hard to ask for help, but it needs to be more accepted.
My brother has chimed in saying it's the low gas light when it's extremely low.
So
it turns red. I haven't got to that point yet, so it's good. I'm always in the yellow.
I don't have a light. I just have a number.
You have a number.
Yeah,
So
it'll say
gas tank. It shows the whole gas pump thing to let you know why. Hey, dummy, look at this. Is what you need to do. It shows the whole gas pumps. Oh, that's what that thing does. All right, so that light does work in the car. Good. I think of it as a test of all the systems. Next question popped in while he was making me laugh over here. So this is selling now. How can someone begin rebuilding their identity after years of putting everyone else's needs first? They're hitting you hard now. Your
community is killing it today. Rebuilding your identity is difficult, and I can speak from firsthand experience. As a military spouse, and I don't know if they are, and that if they're not, that's totally fine, but I feel like the same concept applies. I had to strip away every single thing that I had labeled myself or someone else had labeled me. So I had to put away mother, I had to put away wife, I had to put away cook and unpaid Uber driver and all the things. I had to put all that down, strip it all away. And who am I now today? Because I'm not the same woman that I was when I got married at 25. I'm not that person anymore, and that's okay. You know, evolution is great. But I really had to dig deep and figure out who am I now and what fulfills me. If it's something that I never went to school for, who cares? Because I have not used either of my degrees as a military spouse. They're just decorations for my wall at this point. And they're a very expensive piece of paper. But you don't have to lean on what your career path was and what your education is in. I mean, I never, ever thought I would be writing a book. Like, absolutely not. I read very often and I read habitually, but if you had asked me 5 years ago if I would be writing a book, I would have laughed in your face. But it definitely takes a lot of self-reflection to figure out who you are once you strip all those things away. What makes you fulfilled? What fills your cup? Let's start plugging the holes a little bit and not be a colander and like actually be a cup, and then figure out what makes you happy and excited to do things. And for me, that's advocating for people and helping people build a community and things like that.
So when during your journey did you start realizing that you have to step back and be you and let yourself?
This has been a constant battle, honestly, for our entire marriage, because there were years and I'm like, am I ever going to get a turn? Why do you keep doing this to me? And of course, I feel like most soldiers have probably heard that from their spouse. But when I realized that it's not a competition, and I could find something for myself, it was very difficult. I cannot even pretend like it was easy, because I had to do a lot of reflection. I had to do therapy about it, because I was like, I'm just angry at him. Wasn't really his fault, but it really was his fault. Like, I had to battle through all of that. But it's hard, it's really hard. But for me, I think honestly about 5 years ago is when I was finally able to make peace with what I had felt and realize, okay, it doesn't have to be that way or no way. Like, it's not black and white. We are very much in a gray space. He can have his career, and thankfully my husband has always been the one to say, like, I don't stand behind him, I stand beside him. Which is awesome. And he's very supportive of what I'm doing. He's very supportive of my platform and my book. And he's like, you are going to say factual things, right? And I was like, no, I'm just going to make it up just to piss people off. Like, what? Seriously? Like, he literally asked me that one day. He was like, it's going to be right? I was like, oh my God. Yes. Yes, it is.
Outstanding. Next one is from Ellie Fant. So, okay. What are some realities of military spouse and family life that the public rarely understands? I think we hit some of these earlier, but here you go.
Yep. Okay, so the first thing that comes to mind is dealing with TRICARE, which is a beast.
Yes.
Having to call your healthcare company because their referral was not even in the right state, or their referral was for a pediatric surgeon when it should have been for an adult, or you received a bill for something that you had a referral for. Therefore, you get to explain to the person that works for the company what the referral looks like and what the dates are. So that's one that nobody really knows about. The amount of military spouses that are completely overqualified, overeducated, and vastly underpaid. We are a very educated population, and we are horribly underpaid and underemployed, or not employed at all. So those are probably my top two. Also, having to balance not only dealing with our children's emotions, but our extended family, because a lot of times the extended family expects us to hold their anxiety and give them answers when we don't have the answers at all. Like, we saw CNN or Fox News or Facebook, whatever it is you're looking at, just like you did. Even if we did have more information, we can't give it to you.
Yes. Well, not now anyway. I'll get to later.
Yeah. Yeah. Many years later.
8 years from now. You'll get a snippet of it, and that's what I'll remember of it at that point. And yes. They don't understand that either. They think, because especially now with the instant news, instant everything's in your face right now. They have to know right now. And that's what we've seen with everything that's gone on in the last year with actions being taken.
Yeah.
Why don't we know exactly where that bomb hit at the exact second it dropped? Well, because you're not supposed to. You don't need to know that. And that's why.
Well, it's not important. Did anyone die? That's what's important.
Yeah, that's what matters. And why don't we know where that pilot is that got shot down? Well, because if we tell you, he'll die. And that's what we're trying not to do. And that goes over the mountain of there. Because Google didn't tell them to ask that question, so it just goes over. We'll take one last question from the audience before we start wrapping her up here.
Okay.
From summer, fall. It's good for you right now, summer and fall. And you're in blaze summer right now, but if you could change one cultural belief about burnout and change, what would it be and why?
Oh, one cultural belief about burnout, that it's normal. It doesn't matter who you are, what you do for work. You're going to get, I feel like every person is going to get burnout at some point if you are not prioritizing yourself and or your family. Admitting that you're there. I feel, especially in the military community, our soldiers are cogs in a wheel. because anytime a colonel, lieutenant colonel, general, whoever retires, how many more are coming up the line, taking their space? There's infinite number of soldiers that are coming out of basic training or AIT or whatever they're doing, and they're like, oh, I'm going to be the next so-and-so. We are completely replaceable. They are completely, like, just because I don't answer my email in a 3-day span does not mean I lose anything. So changing the culture of I have to respond and take every single opportunity would probably be another one. You don't have to do that. Does it work with your beliefs, and does it work with your timeline to where you're not stretching yourself like a rubber band that's about to pop? Because we live in Europe currently, and I absolutely love the slower lifestyle. And the United States of America is the grinded out culture. You know, you have to do it, and you have to do it, and you have to do it, and there's never enough. It's not healthy. Like it's really not healthy. So taking the time to step back and be like, you know what? I'm not going to do that today. And I don't have to do that today, because those people, if I lose a job or lose an article or lose an interview because I didn't respond in 24 hours, it wasn't meant for me.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's my mindset.
That's exactly right. And that goes back to instant gratification here in the States or everywhere where you're attached to the pocket leash, and they have to see that like, or they have to see that follow in order to feel that sense of being, that sense of belonging. Yeah. You can belong without having that even in your pocket. Just talk to somebody, walk down the street and say hello. Maybe it'll make somebody's day. Look at them in the eyes and say hi. And maybe be simple. Pet a dog. Do something. Anything that goes outside the norm of pressing a button.
Yes. It's free to be kind. It is free to be kind. That is something I really think that we're slowly getting towards, at least our generation my kids are tweeners. I don't have little bitties and I don't have old kids yet. Like, I'm right in the middle. But like, we're teaching, just be a good human being. You know, that is, and I'm hopefully, you know, with the travel that we do and the cultures that they've experienced, they will understand that we don't live to work, or we live to work. We don't work to live. There we go. I think I got it right.
Yeah.
It's definitely, it's a switch, you know, and I feel like many Americans haven't visited different countries to see how slow their pace of life is. And that would be beneficial. I realize it's financially not possible for everyone, but it's hugely beneficial for your family. We're like, I'm going to spend Sunday and do absolutely nothing, because that's what the Germans are doing.
That's why I was so happy I was able to take my wife and daughter to Korea on the third time the Army said I should go there. They got to see something way different than the United States. They got to see a different culture. They got to experience how my daughter got to experience how other kids live, and see that maybe when she thinks things are bad, they're not that bad. You're doing all right, and you have it pretty well good. We may not live in that Ritz-Carlton like we talked about earlier, but you do have a pretty good life. And these little kids, they go to school and come home all in the dark. All day long, just going. And now you're here. You get to go to school, play soccer, do all those other things, and then see them on the weekend when they get to breathe a little bit. But you get to do it all the time. So that's a lesson I was glad she was able to be taught.
100%. You know, we talk to our kids often, especially when we were in Leavenworth, because they were in just a regular city school. They weren't in a military school. Now there were military children there, but it was predominantly civilians, and it was like, you don't know which one of your friends goes home and doesn't eat dinner. Like, you don't know those things. Like, thankfully, you've never experienced that. So understand that is happening in front of your face, and it's a real thing. You know, it's hard to. I feel like we are a privileged family, you know, because we do get to do these things, but it comes with a burden as well, because I don't want my children to think that everybody lives the way they do, and everybody travels the way they do, and everybody thinks the same way they do. You know, we try really hard to make sure that they are open to other experiences and other cultures.
Definitely. I think that's a blessing for any military family that gets to go overseas and see things and come back and then be able to give back and maybe share their experience with those new friends in those schools that they get to go to, and then learn from their friends and say, hey, maybe I can do something to help you out besides just be your buddy in school. Maybe I can have you over for dinner one night a week. Maybe that'll help you out. Or maybe just sit and hang out with you to give you someone to be with, because maybe there's no one at home because mom and dad work many, many hours a day.
Yeah.
All right, Allison, we've hit a lot of subjects today.
We have.
We've we took a lot of pitches. We took a lot of hits right there. What's the best way for the Misfit Nation to get in contact with you or find out more about you if they want to either just talk to you like we did today or maybe have you on their show?
I would absolutely love that. My website is my first and last name, so AllisonBurton.co. So that is, oh, look, there's my face. Holy crap. There, I was not prepared for that. So if you scroll all the way down to the very bottom, my social media channels are there. And also my email is there. My inbox is always open. It doesn't matter if you need to vent, if you need help with resources, whatever, if you need help of some sort. I'm not promising I have all the answers, but I can try. If you'll click on my work, this is the page that I love to send people to. If you scroll down just a little bit, it'll say no BS resources. And all of the resources there have been vetted by myself or somebody very close to me. They either run the organization or have worked with them before. There's vast amounts of information there. So if any military family needs any kind of help, those organizations are not going to take advantage. They are going to help you in whatever way that it is labeled that they do. If it's food insecurity, if it's infertility, EFMP, all the things. My list is growing every day. So if you are someone who runs an organization or works for an organization that needs to be included on my list, please let me know. I add to it all the time. But I would absolutely love to hear from everybody. And yeah, they can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
Outstanding. I'm looking at dogs on deployment links. I have 4 dogs downstairs. I'll go there and see what that's all about. So it's probably something pretty cool.
Yeah, it's I've spent many hours finding the people that are reputable and are good for military families and not going to just take your money and run. Because no, we're not. I may start a blacklist page and be like, don't talk to these people. And don't think I won't do it, because I will totally do it.
Challenge accepted.
Yes. Yes.
You have to find another 13 hours a day to do that. So
it's fair.
Just throwing it out there to you. Now we'll get down to my final question for you is, what's 3 things the Misfit Nation, the audience, can start doing tomorrow to be better people?
Oh gosh, to be better people. This sounds very cliche, but it's the first thing that came to my mind. Listen when somebody starts to talk, because you don't know what people are going through. It could be that they're a military spouse. It could be that someone in their family has a debilitating illness, like whatever it is. We don't have to know what those things are, but just listen. That's a huge, huge thing that we can do to be a better human being. And I said it earlier, be kind, just be a decent human. I don't understand the concept of just being a jerk, whether you're being a keyboard warrior or you're bullying another spouse because their spouse's rank is less than yours, which absolutely not. And it happens. It still happens. And I can't. There's no room for that. We have enough stressors. Let's not do that. The third thing, oh my goodness. I guess be open-minded.
Nice.
Not everybody lives the same way you do, and that's okay. That doesn't mean they're doing it wrong. Be open-minded to understand. If you want to ask, see if they'll tell you, and if they don't want to tell you, they don't have to tell you. But yeah, be open-minded, because there's a lot of misconceptions about a lot of things in this world.
It definitely is. Those are 3 good ones, Misfit Nation. Remember, listen when people are talking. Be a just human, be kind, and be open-minded. Those are easy ones. There's no homework involved with any of those, and none of them cost you anything. You can do all those for free. Allison, Thank you for syncing our times and getting you on here today. This has been great conversation. When your book comes out, just reach back. We'll get you back on so you can hold it up with you and be proud of it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. This was a blast. I really appreciate it.
It's a fun time. Misfit Nation, make sure you check out AllisonBurton.co and find out the resources. Go on at my work page and go to the Dogs on Deployment tab and tell me what you find, because that's what I'm going to be doing after this show's over. Find that and just see what I can do for my dogs. Maybe I'll give them some discipline, and maybe they'll stop jumping in my face every time I go do it. But remember, Misfit Nation, if the darkness is coming in on you and you're feeling overwhelmed, just stop, take a breath. Don't make a permanent solution to a temporary problem. We need you here tomorrow. Reach in your wallet, call out those 3 people that have told you to write on a piece of paper. They want to hear from you. That doesn't work. Dial 988. Follow the prompts. If all that is not appeasing to you, contact us. info@themisfitnation.com, jake@themisfitnation.com, or steven@themisfitnation.com. We will keep you on the line until someone local can make sure you're all right, and that way you're here tomorrow. So the day with you tomorrow is 100% better than one without you. Until next time, be humble, stay hungry, and keep hustling. Have a good day, everybody.
Thanks for checking us out and being a part of the Misfit Nation show. Don't forget to visit our website at themisfitnation.com. That's themisfitnation.com. Check out all our past episodes and get some of the great Misfit Nation gear for you and your family. As always, be humble, stay hungry, and keep hustling because we are Misfit Nation. Misfit Nation.